Okay, that is it. And we are live. We're just going to give a chat just a couple of seconds to get in, and then we
Fair.
will get going here. But this is our live show. I had to favorite your tweet. Like, I favorite all your stuff because you're just
I
awesome.
know. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
At least someone cares about my tweets.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, welcome to the live show. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am one of your hosts, and joining me, as always, now is my amazing new co-host, Abby Patterson. Abby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you have a good week? Did you celebrate Life Day?
I did celebrate Life Day
Nice.
by going to work.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I did order a very good Life Day Starbucks reusable cup with
that's
a
right.
Wookiee in the Life Day robe, and I'm really excited about it.
That's right. Was that the mug or is that the tumbler?
It's the tumbler.
Okay, it's the tumbler from
Yeah.
Shop Disney.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We have here. Yeah, I worked also. There's Gerald. He's already in chat. Going to dramatic like Maul.
Hi.
Yep. Um, I worked as well, but then I read some stuff from. Oh, it's blurry. I gotta fix my camera later. Anyway, this is the Life Day Treasury from Kevin Scott and George Mann.
Nice.
Yeah, so I read two stories from this. Like, I started reading the first story a while ago, but I kind of like forgot what happened, so I reread it. The first one takes place during the High Republic
Ooh.
and features Stellan Gios, who's right here
Yes.
on the cover.
He's he's there somewhere.
Yeah, he's here somewhere. Maybe I shouldn't do the blurry background anymore. Note to self for next week: don't do that. But that one was really interesting, and he's like, I'll tell the story quickly because like I don't want to like take up too much time talking about Life Day, even though it's one of the topics tonight is Life Day.
Yeah.
But in this story, he is walking through Coruscant and he's near the districts by the Jedi Temple. So he's like in between where the Senate is and where the temple is because they kind of like share that same district. And he's walking through and it's winter solstice. Like that's the name of the holiday on Coruscant. And
Mhm.
it's like this winter solstice festival. And oh, we're good, Gerald. How are you, buddy? And as he's walking through, he notices this kid like pickpocketing people. And so like he's chasing down this kid to try to get like these people's valuables back, right? The kid
Yeah.
sneaks down into the lower levels of Coruscant, and Stellan follows him down there. And this kid gets cornered by this gang of other kids, and he's about to get beat up. And of course, Stellan steps in and saves the kid's life. And he tells the kid, "Look, I need you to give me back the valuables, and I won't turn you in. Like, promise me you'll never steal again, and I won't turn you in." And the kid, like, just having his life saved, says, "Yeah, no, you're right. I promise I won't. I won't steal again." And it turns out the kid goes home, and the twist is he was stealing the valuables so that he could buy a heavy, warm blanket for his sick grandmother.
Oh.
Yes. And Stellan tracks the kid to the kid's house. And he uses the force to open up the door, like to get into this kid's house. And he takes off like his main like outer cloak, and he like lays it over the grandmother to keep her warm. And it breaks the kid's heart, right?
Oh. Yeah.
And like the kid and the grandmother are about to have a solstice stew dinner, and it's like not much, but Stellan says, "Now I see why you did it." And he says, "Look, just stay out of trouble." And Stellan starts to walk away, and the kid stops Stellan and invites him in for this dinner. And he says, "Well, you're going to have to sit on the floor because we don't have any furniture." And so Stellan uses the force to levitate like a foot off of the floor so that he doesn't get his robes dirty. And
Oh,
then the kid looks at him and starts laughing, and he lifts the kid up using the force as well so that the kid doesn't get any more dirty than he already has been. And the thing, like, at this point, like, tears are just flowing, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah. And he says to the kid and the grandmother, "I'm going to take you back to the temple. We'll get you cleaned up, get you nice clothes. You'll have a place to stay for however long you need. We'll get you a meal." And then he looks at the kid and he says, "And we're going to discuss your future." And I was like, isn't that the way like all Jedi should be?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Like it was amazing. Yeah, Gerald, our hearts too, buddy. Like
We crying, DJ, we
yeah,
crying.
yeah, yeah. We're done.
Yeah.
Like I should just end the show on this note because like this
And
is
this has been your weekly Starlight Beacon transmissions. Thank
yes,
you.
thank you. Wikipedia if you're watching.
Right?
Um and then like the second story dealt with a droid on Tatooine that has an interesting run-in with Obi-Wan Kenobi. The droid is captured by Jawas, and he starts to fix these other broken droids on this sand crawler. And as he's fixing these other broken droids, the droids are telling a story of what is essentially Star Wars Santa Claus. Like it's like the Great Oil Man or something. Like he goes throughout the galaxy on either a flying bantha or a magic pod racer that flies through hyperspace. Yeah, I like the flying bantha too.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
and
now celebrate Jedi Santa Christmas in my
yes,
house. It's been
yes,
decided.
yes. That's how I'm gonna celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell this story to my family.
Yes.
Yes. Um, and it turns out like they're telling this story and like one of the robots is like one of those kids that just doesn't believe in Santa Claus because like
Yeah.
he's seen so much. And then like the droid ends up fixing the skeptical robot, and like the droid pretty much sacrifices himself so that these other droids can escape from like this attack on the Jawa sandcrawler. And
Hmm.
who rescues this droid but Obi-Wan Kenobi and
Of
takes him
course.
back to the homestead. So like both of those stories were so good and heartwarming, and like after this week I kind of needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I need to pick that up so I can read it myself.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
I
so
did just
good.
get 3 new Star Wars books.
Oh, did
Um,
they arrive?
yes, they just arrived. None of them are any of the Old Republic ones because I
Okay.
still haven't started the first one.
It's
But
fine.
every night I get home and I'm like, I'm gonna read, and then I just pass out. So I keep collecting books and not starting them, but I really, really need that for
Yeah.
myself.
I think that that's one that you should definitely kind of start with when it comes to like reading Star
Okay.
Wars books because like the stories are shorter and everything.
Mhm.
Not saying like you don't have the attention span for it.
I mean, do I though?
I don't know. But like they're shorter stories and like we don't really know how the holidays are celebrated in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And your first story is a High Republic story.
Yeah.
And like you get familiar with one of the characters already, which is awesome. And yeah, I would pick that one up. I would also pick up Myths and Fables is pretty good, and so is Dark
Okay.
Legends.
I will put all of those in my Amazon cart after we're done tonight.
That's fine. I still want you to read Light of the Jedi though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I actually like need to. It was a long week at work and I got home and I was like, I'm gonna read. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same way. I'm trying to go through
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, I'm boring you.
No, I am just perpetually always tired.
It's all good. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get through Thrawn Ascendancy Book 2.
Okay, I've heard really good things about the Thrawn Ascendancy series.
It's good. It's just um it's very political. It's very
Yeah, that
political.
makes sense.
Um
I've heard they're very, like, verbose and kind of
mhm.
like, you know.
If there's one thing, it's Timothy Zahn likes to describe stuff.
Okay. I got the sense that it was like Hobbit level, like 3 pages to describe a leaf kind of thing, but in Star Wars type of thing.
Yeah, but like a lot of the like some of the descriptions are like tactical descriptions like during
Okay.
battles and stuff, so like that's
Mhm.
pretty interesting. And then some of it's like we're going to describe how the ascendancy politics work, which is really interesting and really cool. But after like 5 pages of it, I'm like, okay, let's move on from like this one plot point.
Yeah.
So, so I'm trying to get through greater good before I get lesser evil,
Mm.
and it's tough because like my attention span this week has not been good.
Yeah, I feel that.
So let's get into some announcements real quick, and then we're going to get into the news.
The news.
So, our first announcement tonight, we are count them, 9 days away from our next RPG show. Join us the Monday after Thanksgiving. So, that is the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are doing Stevie Palp's Cantina Rescue. Yes, we are doing pretty much bar rescue in the Star Wars universe. Uh, Centered around this character who may or may not be a Palpatine who came from the world between worlds. We don't know yet. On December 18th, mark your calendars for that. December 18th, we are going to be doing, I should have told you this beforehand, but oh well. Uh, we are going to be doing our Rogue One special where we are going to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Rogue One. It's hey Maggie, how's it going? Also, Gerald, that is awesome that you're going to be a cool ARC trooper in May, especially if the Bad Batch rolls around at that time again. Here's hoping because
Yeah.
I think a May 4th release date for Bad Batch was perfect.
Oh, I think it was great.
Yeah. So we are going to let me read this from Maggie real quick. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Thrawn Ascendancy. It's taking me months to read the first two. Yeah, it's good. It's just it takes me a while to read this one. Whereas Light of the Jedi and Rising Storm, like I flew through them. So I guess it's just the writers. So yes, December 18th will be our Rogue One special. We will be talking about the 5th anniversary of that movie and talking about the ultimate sacrifice that those rebels made all those years ago.
Super excited for that.
Yes. And we're going to talk about there's one character I really want to talk about in that special, and that is Bodhi Rook.
Bodhi is my favorite.
Because if it weren't for him, none of them would have completed that mission.
True.
Like,
True.
that's all I'm going to say for now, and we're going to dive into that character. Rogue One
We are
has
on the same wavelength with
oh
that.
oh yeah, chemistry.
Yes.
Yes. Rogue One has one of the best space battles. I need more. The space battle over Scarif in Rogue One is amazing.
Hmm.
Especially the ghost is there.
I know. That's like one of my favorite little just like Easter eggs of like zero point 0.3 seconds of it being on screen. And I'm like, it's the ghost. I
Yes.
love it.
And how can you not love Blue Leader and the rest of Blue Squadron?
I know.
Which I'm killing myself that I didn't get that Target exclusive figure with the X-Wing.
Yeah.
S-
Fine.
yeah, so that is that. Uh, December 11th, we are still going to have a live show, but I am going to be in a different location. My wife and I are heading to my hometown of Ocean City, Maryland, for a one-day Comic Con called Ocean City Comic Con. So I was thinking about trying to go live from there, but I think like the Wi-Fi at that convention center is just going to be too shoddy. Plus, I don't want to lug all my equipment to that convention center when I can
Fair.
just have it in the hotel room set up that night. And we may have a guest. We may have a
Okay.
guest. One of my buddies may be joining us for that. I don't know yet, but we may do that.
Whatever works.
Yes. So don't. So December, we've got your shows covered. We will be announcing our December RPG session soon, which is we're going to be doing a Life Day one shot where we are going to be doing a Life Day party where we're going to wear ugly sweaters and what have you. And so the funny thing about this is real quick, and I feel like I'm dominating the conversation, and I
You're
apologize for
fine.
this. Um, so one of our players sings with D Capella, the Disney a cappella group.
Okay.
So we have a group chat on Discord for like myself and all the players, and I was thinking about this Life Day session, and I was like, and just Life Day in general because of the other day, and I was just like, I wonder if there's a Star Wars version of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas is All I Want for Life Day is You. And
Uh,
Kaylin shoots back like in the Discord and she's like, I'm rehearsing with D Capella right now. Do you want me to pitch this? And I was like, if you bring them on to sing this song for the RPG show, I would be amazed.
that would
So
be fantastic.
I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, that would be fantastic. But it's
Seriously.
it's it's all good, you know. So there's that. Anyway, moving on here. And finally, did you know that there's a little show coming out on December 29th? I
What is
think
it
it's
called? What is it about?
is it
Isn't it
the
like the tome of
it's the
someone or
Return of Jar
something?
Jar Binks, isn't it?
That's what it is. Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. The Return of Jar Jar Binks, a Disney Plus original, will will be airing on the 29th. No, folks, you
Thrilling.
know. Yeah. It's going to be his story from the Aftermath trilogy, which I do not
Yeah,
recommend you read because it's not that good.
that's fair.
Where he's a street performer on Naboo after during the Galactic Civil War. Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. Um all right, Dave and John, you've got your assignment now. The novel of Captain Rex. Ooh, I like that.
I would love
Yeah,
that
I would
so
watch that. My
much.
wife would watch that. I mean, but at that point, he's got to be like 90.
Oh my God. In clone years, which are
Yeah,
something like dog years, or I don't even know. He would be old.
yeah, he would be old. So we have that. So January 1st, we actually just talked about this.
Yeah.
New Year's, so our first live show after the Book of Boba Fett would be New Year's Day. And I'm thinking we're gonna have to do it hungover.
I feel like I am gonna be like my hair is gonna be in a bun. There will be no makeup. I will have my sunglasses on and I will
Hey, very
sound
true.
like a frog lady and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm also thinking maybe we should drink that episode.
Hair of the dog, I'm just
Hair of
saying.
the dog would be really good. Yeah,
I'm
we'll
down for
talk
that.
about it. Yeah. So those are your announcements. Anything you want to announce real quick before we get into some news?
No, not really. You covered everything that I could think of, and my life is boring outside of this, so
So is mine. Bless you.
Fair.
My wife just sneezed. I'm sorry, chat, if you heard that. So let's talk about the news. And there might have been there might have been something yesterday that dropped.
Small tidbit.
Just a
A
little
little
bit.
bit.
Are
Yeah.
you familiar with the show called Star Wars Rebels?
Me? I've never heard of I don't even know what Star Wars is.
Oh, it's a movie series about space wizards. You'll love it.
Okay.
You'll love
I
it.
sounds right up my
Yeah,
alley.
yeah, exactly. No Harry Potter, nothing like that. Just it's great. Um, Folks, we've got live action Sabine coming.
Yes, and I
Which
am so excited about it.
yes. Um, which we all kind of knew was coming as soon as Ahsoka asked the question, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" in that episode of
Mhm.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this real quick. According to Variety, this is Variety that has said this. Lucasfilm has casted Natasha Liu Bordizzo or
Or Dizzo,
Bordizzo
I believe. Or
Bordizzo,
Dizzo.
yes,
Yeah.
as Sabine Wren. Now, I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with her filmography outside of The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I know her from.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's a great casting choice.
She looks exactly like Sabine.
She does. Yeah,
Yeah.
you slap a multicolored wig on her and she is Sabine Wren.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait to see that armor. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see
Oh
that
my
armor.
God, yes. Hers
And
is hands down my favorite Mandalorian armor.
oh yeah, hands down. Yes. And they better give her the TIE fighter too.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Required.
Yeah, it is. So, while I love this casting choice, I absolutely do. I do have to say this about Disney and Lucasfilm. They have been killing it with casting more unknown actors in a lot of these roles.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's worked. Like in the MCU, a lot of those actors were unknown. Like Iron Man was the
Yeah.
first introduction to Robert Downey Jr. for a lot of people.
Yeah, and Tom Holland was, like,
Hmm.
fairly small, like, he had been in, like, a couple plays and I believe, like, a couple, like, smaller shows in the
Hmm.
UK. He was basically unknown to, like, the American audience, like, prior to that,
Yeah,
and it went well for him.
yeah, and look at our Trinity in the sequel trilogy.
Mhm.
Like nobody really knew who Oscar Isaac was. I think out of the
Yeah.
three of them, him and Boyega were probably the more well known of the three.
Yeah, I wanna say Daisy Ridley, that was, like, her first acting thing ever or, like, close to. I could be super wrong, but that's what I thought I remember hearing is that she, like, really didn't do much before that.
Yeah, no, that was her first mm, acting gig outside of a commercial, according to J.J.
Which is
Abrams.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean I mean she gives such a great performance in that
Yeah.
trilogy. But like even John Boyega, like he had Attack the Block, and if you're
Mhm.
not really an independent film fan, like you wouldn't really know who he was. And then he did well, Attack the Block is a little more mainstream, I would
Mhm.
say. And then he was on an episode of 24, or no, he was in the 24 revival series.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Um, Ger- Gerald says announcing it here first. I'll be in Ahsoka as a new pilot. That would be awesome.
Yes, do it.
Yes. Um, but like seeing these unknown actors just makes me just super happy that
Mhm.
they are like they really just don't want to like I think overpower the audience with like star power,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, I agree. They wanna bring in people who they're not, like, telegraphing what the character is gonna be, like,
Hmm.
they brought in, obviously, Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shan, but
Yep.
it's kind of telegraphing that she's supposed to be, like, a
Hmm.
strong, independent woman who can kick butt, like, by
Kick some
casting her as
ass.
that character, but I love that they bring in new people, and it doesn't necessarily give you, like, "Oh, they're telegraphing that this person is supposed to be like this," you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it and I love that. And like that makes me curious about like I have a feeling we're gonna get Hera.
I hope so.
Yeah. And let's let's before I get to the Ezra, like my Ezra dream casting, which I think
Mhm.
you and I will probably be on the same page for.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, I think that this is going to be the Rebels sequel that Filoni has teased us for years.
Yeah. I
I
know sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you go, you go.
I was just gonna say, I know that a lot of people really wanted, an animated Rebels sequel, which I understand because we, obviously saw Rebels animated, and it was such a great show, and there's a lot of things that you can do stylistically animated that you can't in live action, but I am really excited about this, and I really think it's gonna be like, it's Filoni, he's not gonna do wrong by us, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
hmm Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that Star Wars Rebels is hands down the best Star Wars television series they've ever done.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I'm partial to the Clone Wars, but
hmm
I love Rebels. I think it's,
hmm
like, fantastic.
Yeah, Rebels is fantastic, and that story they told over those 4 seasons was
Oh my
just it was
god.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Seriously.
I now that I think about it, I'm kind of with you. I think Clone Wars has the slight edge,
Mhm.
only because it came first.
Yeah, but I still think Rebels is, like, honestly fantastic, and there were
hmm
so many smaller points that they could expand on
hmm
in Rebels
Yeah.
because the pacing wasn't like wartime soldiers.
hmm
Mission of the week type of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to like Rebels. When I
hmm
started watching it, I was very iffy on it for like
hmm
the first half of the first season. I was like, it's good, like I guess, but I wasn't sorry, my dogs are yelling.
You're fine.
I wasn't entirely sold on it for a little
hmm
bit. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna keep watching it. Like there's no
hmm
way that I'm not gonna watch it. I will consume any and all Star Wars media. But I by the end of that show was so thoroughly, like,
hmm
attached to the story and impressed by the story and the storytelling, so I'm really excited for, this kind of, like, successor to that story to
hmm
happen.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I think what made Rebels work was Clone Wars felt so fast paced,
It was, yeah.
whereas Rebels was more of a slow burn.
Mhm.
Even though Rebels had the shorter series,
Yeah,
it felt like it was a slower story.
yeah.
Um, and I think that's just a testament to that storytelling group. Like, they wrote these stories about these characters that was just beautiful, and they let the characters shine. That was their
Mhm.
biggest thing. And Clone Wars does it too. Especially like
Yeah,
in the later seasons, Clone Wars like really just says, yeah, we're still going to have the big spectacles and everything, but for the most part, we're going to focus on the characters now.
yeah,
Whereas Rebels hits the ground running, focusing on the characters.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Um, so I really feel like this is the sequel series that he's been teasing, and I'm happy that it
I
would be
agree.
live action. I I,
Yeah.
I really am. I think that this is also going to be Dave Filoni's Thrawn trilogy. Um, and okay, let's talk about because and Gerald, like we're with you, buddy.
Oh,
Live action
yes.
Hera would make our heart explode,
This is, like,
especially
so good.
especially if Jason Sindula is there.
Oh my god, yeah.
But that kid is weird looking.
Seriously, like, I totally understand that they were trying to marry Kanan Jarrus and a green Twi'lek woman, but that child was a little odd looking
Yeah,
for the 4 seconds we got him on screen.
I agree. I agree. I would also like to see Zeb and Callus in the Ahsoka show too.
I would love that. I would love that.
Especially like their banter, their back and forth, and everything
Mhm.
is just great. Okay, let's talk about Ezra because
Yes.
I think Ezra and Thrawn are the MacGuffins of the Ahsoka show.
Mhm.
I want Mina Masad from Aladdin.
1000%. I
Yeah.
am on the same page with you. I think that would be a perfect casting choice for him.
hmm I mean, he looks like Ezra,
Mhm.
and he would be around that age too.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to see what they're up to in the unknown regions.
I know. Is he still on the back of that Purgle? Like, what is going on? Where are you, Ezra?
Yeah. Um, and then that's another. Maggie says, "I definitely need more Zeb and Callus." I think
Mhm.
we all need more Zeb and Callus in our lives. Zeb and Callus are amazing. Didn't forgot the clone's name. Have it. Oh, Cut. Cut had children with with the
Yeah,
Twi'lek.
Cutler Quain. And
Yeah,
then technically there's something from, I think, one of the Republic Commandos, but I'm not sure. But there was a clone who, like,
yeah.
married. But I don't know if she was a Twi'lek or not.
No, I think she was just a. Yeah, it was in one of the Republic Commando books that
Mhm.
happened, and then there was also another Jedi that hooked up with another one of the Republic Commandos and like
Gotcha,
had to use
gotcha.
the Force to hide her pregnancy.
Interesting.
Yeah, until the last second, and so like when you get to
Surprise!
when you get to the Order 66 book in the Republic Commando series, it's gonna break your heart. Yeah.
I'm ready, but I'm not ready.
Yeah. Um,
But also something to note is that Sue's kids are not Cut LaQuane's kids. He's like their stepdad
that is true. That is
because
true.
they are both like fully Twi'lek children. And then he like
Yeah,
deserted, found this like hot, beautiful Twi'lek, and was like,
that's right.
"We should be married together, and I'll
That's
raise your
right.
children."
I mean, they kind of look like him just a little bit,
That's true. That's true.
but I also think it's like Filoni and crew trying to throw us off of that.
Well, so this was like in the first like year of the war, and
Yeah.
everybody like Earth-wise, it was 3 years long, but I saw something ages ago that was like, "Hey, by the way, actually, when you look at the way that, time works in space," it was closer to, like, 5 to 7 years
hmm
type of thing, which is why it like, Ahsoka was only gone for, like, a season and a bit, and it looked like she got, like, 3 years older
hmm
as opposed to, like, a couple months older. I don't know. It was, like, a theory, but it kinda made sense, like, that he
Gotcha.
maybe deserted at the beginning of the war and met Sue, and then his kids were, like, 3 and 5 or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I mean, we'll never know
Truly.
unless we ask the people that wrote the characters and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Gerald in chat says, "I kind of want Ahsoka to meet Luke." I I'm sorry, but I kind of don't want them to meet
It's fair.
because like I love Ahsoka just on her own.
Yeah.
And I think that if she would have met Luke or if she meets Luke, that's going to wreck like a lot of the character development that she's had.
That's a valid point. I think it would be, like, really hard for her, like, as a character to, like, meet, like, Anakin's son. I think that would be really difficult.
Because you know she knew. You know she knew.
Yeah. Well, after Rebels, yeah,
Yeah,
she
after
knew, like,
Rebels.
it
Yeah.
she clocked that, you know?
Mhm. And like even Obi-Wan wasn't oblivious to it. Obi-Wan was just like, I don't care what you do, just don't involve
It
me.
was very like, "I pretend I do not see."
Yeah, while he's trying to get with Satine while not trying to get with Satine again. Um, but that's for another
That's a
show.
whole yeah, that's a whole thing that I have lots of thoughts about.
Yes. So let's move on here. Great casting choice. Absolute
Yeah.
great casting choice. So comicbook.com as well as I think it's Besman Underground has shared this rumor now that the Ahsoka show is actually going to start filming in the spring of 2022, which
Mhm.
would which would give it a 2023 release, which is kind of what a lot of us were thinking.
Yeah.
And if this is true, which I mean, all Star Wars rumors we have to take with a grain of salt
Yes.
until it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Which I gotta tell you, we called Obi-Wan.
We so called Obi-Wan. We so did. And I was freaking out about that, sitting in my car at lunch at work, being like, it was the Vader mask noise. We said this is what's gonna happen.
Yes. I mean, we were rejoicing.
Yeah. We're sitting there like texting each other, like, we told you! We told you!
Yes. I mean, we blew each other up when that
Yeah.
happened. So if this is true, if it's a March 2022 release date, we got to get more casting here soon. And this
Yeah.
I think this Sabine thing is the first wave of the casting.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if by Christmas we get Ezra and Thrawn casted.
Yeah.
Um, I'm thinking Christmas at the latest.
Yeah, I could see that. Because that's still a month and a bit away if they're already releasing, like, who Sabine is gonna be or who's playing Sabine.
But I still have a feeling we're getting that Investor Day presentation that we got like last year.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, and I think that's where they'll announce it.
Yeah.
Um, any thoughts on this, or should we just take it with a grain of salt and just
Like you said, I feel like everything Star Wars has to be taken with a grain of salt until
yeah,
confirmed. I remember some crazy rumors going around about like the Bad Batch before it came out. Like people were saying that like Cody shows up and like kills one of Cut and Sula Quain's kids. And I was like, excuse me? Like people believed it. They were taking it
yeah,
as like gospel truth. And obviously that didn't happen. So I think until anything is confirmed, I'm just gonna be
yeah,
hopefully optimistic, you know?
yeah. I'm the same way. I think that it's if they do March of 2022, I think that's kind of is in that perfect window.
Mhm.
Um, you you want to get people excited, but there's so many projects next year that you don't want to take away from what's in the pipeline for
Yeah,
2022.
yeah.
So let's move on here and talk. We've got some book stuff. But
Mhm.
before we do the book stuff, we talked a little bit about Life Day.
Yeah.
ShopDisney.com celebrated Life Day, and we had Life Day celebrations at Batu West and Batu East.
Yeah.
I saw some of the caroling footage from Batu West.
Yeah.
Yes, there was caroling. Yeah,
My heart.
I know.
I love it, I love it.
I think that's great. I just think it's great. So, um, Maggie, you work at Hollywood Studios. Were any caroling at Batu East? I'm gonna wait for you here in chat. We'll find
I
out.
did I follow this Twitter account called Jim Does a Star War, and it's always
Yes.
hilarious. I love him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
he put up something that was like, "George Lucas, we must never let people remember that the holiday special was a thing." Every Star Wars fan, "No, this is a national holiday now."
It is. My wife's trying to figure out what kind of carols were sang. One of the ones that I saw in the video was a version of Frosty the Snowman, and it was actually about a gonk droid,
Oh my
and
god.
it was like thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump, look at Gonky go,
Oh my
and
god,
I
I
was like,
love
that's
that.
amazing.
That's
Um,
adorable.
no, forever sad that Batu West gets more of the love though. Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to call you out in chat, Maggie, but since you're here, I wanted to ask you. Huh? Oh. Um, so so Life Day happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think it's great. Like we've embraced this as a national holiday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's amazing just to see like the Star Wars community like come together for Life Day. Batu East had a bunch of merch though. Yeah, I'm sure they had a bunch of merch.
Yeah.
Sure, they have.
I'm really curious about the differences between Batu West and Batu East because I've only ever been to West,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it's, like, the same size or same kind of, like, layout or anything like that. I really wanna go.
I think East is slightly bigger,
Yeah, it makes sense.
because of just how small Disneyland is.
Yeah, it's tiny.
What's the topics today? Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're talking about Life Day, and then we're diving into a bunch of High Republic stuff that is actually going to tie into Star Cruiser, and then we're going to
Mhm.
talk about Destination D23, which is going on, as well as more Star Cruiser stuff. So
Yes.
no worries. Always here for Hollywood Studios updates. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that.
God.
Also, send me Jack Jack cookie num nums.
Oh my god, I love those.
Yes. Anyway, so let's move on here. So Lucasfilm Publishing and Disney Books have revealed the cover to the upcoming Clone Wars novel Brotherhood, which is where we finally find out what all of that business on Cato Nemoidia was about.
Mhm.
And this cover is great because it's like right after Attack of the Clones, Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Um, I was hoping for the armor. I was hoping for the Clone Wars armor a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's a great cover. It's a beautiful cover. If you
It's
haven't, huh? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say if you have not seen it, you should. It's amazing.
It's very, the way that it's set up, like, circularly with the 2 lightsabers very much reminds me of the, Open Circle Fleet
Yes,
emblem,
yes,
which I think is really cool.
yes. That is very cool. Real quick here, Maggie says, Batu West and Batu East are around the same size. West has an extra exit though. West
Ah.
always just has more merch, character interaction, and not to mention that they have calf, but we don't. She says,
Oh,
"LOL,
yeah.
I do bake nom noms every so often at work." Um, so Gerald says, "Okay, cool. Wanted to input about Star Cruiser when we get there." Yeah, we're getting there. We're gonna get there. That's pretty much gonna be our main topic of conversation tonight is Star Cruiser because of everything going on here. So yes, it does remind me of the Open Circle fleet as well, and that's pretty cool. It's a really cool cover. We already know Asajj Ventress is going to be in this as well,
Mhm.
so we get more Ventress in books, and I think it's going to be a fun story,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see the growing pains between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's probably gonna give me a lot of angst, but I'm gonna love it.
Yes, and I want to see why Obi-Wan thinks that the business on Cato Nemoidia doesn't count.
So many unanswered questions.
Yes. So let's move on here. We have more news here. Lucasfilm and Dark Horse are coming back together to tell more
Mhm.
Star Wars comic stories. This is really cool because I think the last one that they did was right before 2000, was right in 2012, maybe
I
2013.
believe so, yeah. It was, like, the mid-aughts, so
Yeah,
somewhere in there. I'm looking actually on the article right now to see if I can
yeah. I
find.
think it was Son of Dathomir was like the last comic because they've done like Star Wars art books and stuff
Yeah.
since then. Like they're
Mhm.
still doing Star Wars art books and stuff. But this is really cool because some of the best Star Wars comic stories came from the Dark Horse era back in the
Yeah.
90s and the early 2000s. Crimson Empire, Dark Empire 1 and 2. Um, Star Wars Legacy was amazing. Knights of the Old Republic. Dark
Ugh,
Times was good. Invasion, which adapted the New Jedi Order stuff from the Legends novels, was really good. There was so much there, and I just can't wait to see them do more. Now, I'm wondering if Marvel is still going to have the license as well because they never said anything about them severing a partnership with Marvel.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, I'm actually really curious what they're gonna do with Marvel as well
Hmm.
because, like you said, they never said, like, "We're not doing this, we're moving in this direction." So I'm curious to see if they're gonna kind of come out in tandem if they continue on with Marvel or if it's gonna be, like, Star Wars, Marvel, kind of like
Yeah.
trading off sort of thing. And again, like I mentioned, for my premiere episode here, I really didn't get into the comics that much just because I was never like a comic book reader. But
Hmm.
in the past couple years, it's definitely something that I've gotten really into
Hmm.
and I'm really excited for this where I'm gonna be, like, present as they're being released and,
Hmm.
like, going to get them type of thing as they're coming
Yeah.
out, so and I've seen a bunch of things from Dark Horse. I have a couple different, series that Dark Horse has done, and they're just I think it's gonna be really, really incredible. They're
Hmm.
such talented, storytellers through the
Hmm.
graphic novel and comic medium, so I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, me too. I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like the IDW partnership that they did
Mhm.
to like, publish Star Wars Adventures and
Yeah.
High Republic Adventures and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like Marvel's still going to have the main stuff and Dark Horse is
Yeah.
probably going to have some more side stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still a great partnership, and I'm so happy to see them back because you and I have both said like those stories are just so good. They're just
They
so
really
good.
are. Yeah.
Let's move on here to more comic news. It seems like we just had a lot of comic book news lately.
Right?
Lucasfilm and Marvel are bringing us a sneak peek at the High Republic Trail of Shadows #2. I know that you're far behind on the High Republic. I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
You're fine, you're fine.
Um, so Trail of Shadows is an interesting series so far. It's only one issue in. The second
Mhm.
issue actually comes out on this Wednesday, actually. So it comes out this
Okay.
Wednesday. And it's about these two investigators. One of them's actually a Jedi,
Yeah.
which I think is awesome because, like,
Yeah.
you've never seen like a Jedi like have any other job but be a Jedi.
Right.
This guy's like a detective, and he's trying to figure out what actually happened at the end of the Rising Storm, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
He's partnered with a private eye who's hired by the Chancellor of the Republic, and they're kind of forming like this unnatural buddy cop type thing.
I
Um,
love that.
but the first issue was so good, and
Yeah.
the first few panels of that book, Daniel Jose Alder, you were one of my favorites until you gave me those first few panels. That's all I'm gonna say, buddy.
No.
It hurt. It hurt.
This wasn't okay, there was a comic that I read a couple panels out of recently. This wasn't the Kicks thing, was it?
The kicks thing.
Okay, never mind. Obviously not. Never mind.
No, no, this is no like
Oh, wait, no, High Republic. Okay, I
yeah,
am
yeah,
getting my
yeah.
wires crossed right now.
No,
There was We'll talk about it another time, but there was a
yeah.
very sad comic that I read recently.
No, I know the one that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they previewed it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, that was pretty bad too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was bad in a good way. Uh,
Right in the gut.
so I don't want to really talk about that too much.
That's fair.
About Trail of Shadows.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
continuing on with the High Republic, and this is actually going to be the start of our Star Cruiser topic here, people.
yeah.
Maggie agrees. Yep, those first panels were heartbreaking. Yeah, she knows. She knows pain. She knows the pain that I felt. She knows the pain that millions of us felt.
Yeah.
So Galactic Star Cruiser, it's getting a comic book series
Yeah.
from Marvel, which features High Republic Jedi,
Mhm.
Which I'm really excited about that comic book series. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Just it reminds me of the Galaxy's Edge comic book series that they did. It was like a mini series. I was just talking about Kicks the other day. Yeah, I think we were
Mm.
all just talking about Kicks the other day. Um, but we're getting the comic book series, which is pretty cool, and it's going to feature the Halcyon from
Mhm.
the Chandrilla Star Line. But did you know it's going to be featured in not one, not two, but three upcoming High Republic books?
Yeah.
So it is going to be featured in the children's book Battle for Starlight, which is so the children's books, they're like these little thin books,
Mhm.
have stickers,
Yeah.
which the stickers are great. I kind of want to put a bunch on my laptop, but I
Do
don't
it.
want to ruin my laptop. Um, and what those children's books do is it tells like the meat of like the adult novels, like kind of like the main
Yeah.
plot of each adult novel. So we're getting the Halcyon in Battle for Starlight. We're getting the
Mhm.
Halcyon in Justina Ireland's young reader novel, Mission to Disaster, and then Daniel Jose Alder's young adult novel, Midnight Horizon, will actually talk about the construction of the Halcyon as
Yeah.
well. Um, this was really exciting. This is really cool.
I think it's
How
super cool.
yeah, I'm really excited to see them dive into this, especially like and bring it into parks.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get a lot of it in parks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's gonna be one of those things where it helps to read the background material before you do the thing. And we're gonna get to doing the thing here very
Yeah.
shortly. But how do you feel about this? Because this is pretty cool.
I think it's really smart that they're tying this in kind of before it opens because
Hmm.
then people aren't just like walking into it and being like, I what is the house? Like what they have the backstory. They know where it's been, they know what it does. They're gonna know like people who've been on it, I'm
Hmm.
assuming, based on what we're gonna see it in. We're gonna have enough of like a firm base of knowledge to be kind of like even more excited about going to the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and I think it's also a great way to engage your audience that can't really do Star Cruiser.
Yeah, for sure.
It's similar to what Delilah S. Dawson did with the Black Spire Outpost book.
Mhm.
Like she wrote a story around Black Spire Outpost.
Yeah.
Maggie says, I'm very excited about the tie in between High Republic and Star Cruiser. It's solidified my wanting to stay there even more. Yeah, we're going to get to that here in just a few minutes. I know I keep teasing it, people, but we got to get through these before we can get to that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Star Cruiser, did you know that you could win a trip from StarWars.com? And
Yes.
this contest, I actually have to pull up this link again because this contest is epic.
Yeah. And I
So
wanna win it, and I'm not going to, and then I'm gonna be very upset.
I'm gonna be very upset too. Let me see here. It's on bringhomethebounty.com, I believe. Yeah, here it
Yeah.
is. Enter for a chance to win. Here it is. So here is the grand prize package. Get ready, people. I hope that you're sitting down because this is pretty epic. So, oh, I can actually re-enter. I'm gonna do that real quick. I just did that. I just did
I
it.
need to enter it too.
um, so anyway, now I gotta bring it up again. Sorry. Okay, so here it is. You can win a 4-day, 3-night vacation to Walt Disney World Resort, inclusive of a 2-night voyage on the Star Cruiser for yourself and up to 3 guests. So 4 of you get to go on this thing. The grand prize: 2-night voyage to experience Galactic Star Cruiser, a 1-night stay at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, round trip air transportation if applicable, a welcome basket, up to 4 one-day Walt Disney World Resort theme park tickets with park hopper option. And this last thing is is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
A meet and greet with all 5 authors of Star Wars: The High Republic.
Yeah.
This is
Which is,
crazy.
it's crazy. It's insane. Again, I'm already pre-upset that I'm not going to win this.
Oh, me too. But what if we did win?
I would die.
Yeah.
If I win, I will take you, and if you win, you take me.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, the 4 of us have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speechless by this sweepstakes, and this isn't the only Galactic Star Cruiser sweepstakes
No,
that's
there's
going
a
on.
ton of them going on right now.
Yeah, like they want people that. Gerald says, "If I win, let's go, Abby."
Bet,
Um,
DJ.
Maggie says, I so wish I could enter." Yeah, like cast members can't enter, and that's the sad part.
Oh,
Um,
shakes fist at sky on
I
your
know,
behalf,
I
Maggie.
know, I know. Um, but like you're right. There's tons of these sweepstakes, and
Yeah.
I think it's more for people like because there was a lot of backlash when they first announced like the prices and stuff for this. And I think that this is a way for Disney to kind of like smooth things out a little bit and just be like, "Hey, if you're a normal person
Yeah.
that can't afford this, then yeah, enter this contest for shekels pretty much and see if you
Yeah.
win." I
I
mean,
did actually find something out about the pricing, though.
okay. Do we
So, we can hold off on talking about it.
should we just dive into this thing now? and
Sure,
and
why
just
not?
and just kind of like incorporate the news of this thing as we're doing this.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no. I didn't. I was like, that's why I was like saying it
Hmm.
slowly. Like, we
Yeah,
can hold off on talking about it till later in the show, but that's up to you.
I think at this point for like the last hour of the show, like this is going to be the dominant thing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes, Gerald, you can enter. Go to starwars.com and or it's bringhomethebounty.com. Go to
Yeah.
bringhomethebounty.com. You can enter this contest.
Hmm.
Yes, it's pretty epic. It's a pretty epic contest. Because D23 is doing a contest too.
Yeah, they are. There was another one I saw somewhere. I couldn't tell you. Like, I have the memory of a goldfish, but it was somewhere else.
Nice Ted Lasso quote.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Um, we okay. So at Destination D23 today, they also announced that the first voyage is only for Make a Wish kids, which I think is pretty incredible.
Oh, that is.
Yes, and I think that is so great. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And especially like if like Ashley Eckstein goes on that first voyage,
Oh
which you
my
know she
God.
will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean she's done the test run for it.
Yeah.
Um yeah, that's just I mean my heart goes out to that organization for that and to Disney for
100%.
doing that because
Yeah.
that's incredible. Gerald says BRB. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I,
I'm gonna cry.
yeah, exactly. Like that just made my night.
Yeah, seriously. I
Yeah,
think that's fantastic, and I think that, like, with as many kids as there are who are massive Star Wars fans, I think that's the perfect way to kick that off because that it truly is like a once in a lifetime thing.
exactly. And just just do it. Just bring that kid just a little bit of magic just to get them
Yeah,
through whatever they need to
seriously.
get through. And
I good on you, Disney. I'm
yeah,
happy about that.
we've questioned a lot of your decisions lately, but this is not one of them that we will
No,
ever
I
question.
fully love that.
Yeah. So let's talk Star Cruiser here because they did. We've had test runs now because the press have
Yeah.
been in Florida this week because of Destination D23.
Hmm.
And so they got to go through like the Halcyon and stuff like that, like go on the bridge, do the bridge tests. I did see the video of lightsaber training today as well,
Yeah.
which I saw somebody tweeted out this just looks like Fruit Ninja.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. Like I saw the lightsaber training, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Um, we've seen some first looks at merch,
Hmm.
and we've seen some characters. Now those characters are really cool looking.
Yeah.
In which we're actually going to get a Disney cast member dressed as a Pantoran.
Which I love
Yes,
so much.
yes. I think it's so good. It's so cool, and we've got multiple droids here as
Yeah.
well. Oh wait, we know we've seen. Sorry, I
No, you're
like
good.
clicked on my YouTube link for some reason.
Like, ah.
Ah! Let me see here. Let's take a look at these characters real quick.
Because
So,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So we have Captain Riola Kevin, who is
Hmm.
a Pantoran. Prior to this, I think the only Pantorans we've seen, obviously besides like animated stuff, we caught like a glimpse of them in the background of Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, one of the two.
Revenge of the Sith. It's George Lucas
Yeah.
and Katie Lucas, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think was Chairman Papanoida and like one of his daughters or something, Chiigwe or Chiamanwe, one of the two.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Um, I think that's cool that our captain of this thing is a Pantoran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the design of I'm so excited about all of this. I'm just like everything is so cool.
Yeah, the design's really cool. I just like the simplicity of it too.
Yeah.
And when I say simplicity, I mean just like the simplicity of the clothes.
Yeah, yeah. It's very
We
captainly.
yes, go ahead, give us the rest of these characters.
So we have Captain Riola Kevin. We have cruise director Lenka Mock.
Hmm.
Uh, doesn't give a race for her, but she looks very. I've been on cruises before, and I could see her like directing these cruise activities and everything, kind of in charge of making sure everyone's having a good time.
Hmm.
Um, then we have SK620, her astromech, who is also the assistant cruise director,
I love
which I
this.
love
I
so much.
I love this so much. I love that an astromech droid is assistant cruise director on this thing.
Right. And it's like an R2 unit, even though
Hmm.
technically I guess it's an SK unit, but that
Yeah.
is neither here nor there.
Mm.
It's like gray and orange. That's a really cool like design or color scheme.
Also, real quick, can I get that at Mubo's? Because like I need that at Mubo's.
Yes,
Yeah.
seriously.
Um, go ahead.
We have D309, D309, a droid you may see appear on holo screens. Primary function is running ship logistics.
Hmm.
Okay. Um,
Looks like
built centuries ago. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was just about to point that out. Yeah, built centuries ago. So High Republic droid.
Yeah,
Hmm.
which I love.
Yep.
We have Sammy, more of a stowaway than a real mechanic. I love just Sammy. That's just
Sammy.
Sammy. Who's that? That's Sammy.
Yeah, that's great.
He is from Corellia, and he is, I guess, a mechanic. And he is not super skilled, but apparently he's very charming.
And And he speaks Shriwook.
He speaks Shriwook. Oh my god, that's so cool. I love that.
Uh huh.
So they have to be hiring cast members who can do the Wookiee roar, because I can't.
Yes, neat. I mean, I can do a roar. I'm not doing it on stream right now.
It's yeah, it does it I can't.
Yeah, yeah, my wife reminded me. Oh, I'll tell you after we get done.
Okay,
After
okay.
we get done this little bit here.
We
Um,
have oh, am
no,
I still reading? Okay.
yeah. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. I apologize.
No, it's, we're like 3 seconds delayed because we're talking over Discord, so we're just
Yes.
talking over each other.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Lieutenant Harmon Croy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, where is he from?
Just says first
Doesn't
order.
Ew. Oh no, he will oh wait. I'm so blind. I'm sorry. I'm like reading this as quickly as I can without my glasses on. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Croy's special assignment makes him a person of interest. Dogs. Whether you're a rebel sympathizer, a rigid proponent of First Order rule, or a simple traveler making their way in a galaxy at war.
Yeah, I think it's cool we're getting a first order person on this
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
Um, all of these, all of these are amazing character
Yeah.
designs,
No, I
and
love them.
yes, and the way Disney has done their animatronics for droids, especially at Galaxy's Edge, I can't wait to
Mhm.
see these. I
I
can't
know.
wait. Gerald says entered. Yep, I'm winning. Gerald also says, so I need a lightsaber expert to recreate that lightsaber. Love we're getting droid appreciation. Hopefully doesn't run over toes. Like every person on a mobilized scooter at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Gerald also says I can do the Wookiee roar for you. Okay, so this Wookiee story. Was it the Bermuda cruise or the Bahamas one? I think it was the Bahamas one. Um, so my wife and I are on this cruise with her family, and they did Star Wars trivia one day when
Okay.
we were at port, and I think it was like a day when I just didn't want to get off the ship because of just like I didn't like the port of call.
It's fair.
So we do this Star Wars trivia, and it was like a three-way tie for first to win a 24 karat gold plastic piece of ship on a stick. So a fake trophy.
Yeah.
And oh, are you trying to find it? Um I'm gonna gonna let my wife bring the trophy over real quick. I won 5 of them on that ship.
Oh
On
my
that
god.
trip. Oh yeah, I dominated.
I love that.
Yeah, I dominated in all sorts of activities.
As you
Um
should.
so here it is. Yes,
Perfect.
I won this. Um there was a three-way tie and we had a Wookiee off. And I won the Wookiee off to win the trophy.
That
Yeah,
is phenomenal.
I was called King Wookiee the rest of the cruise by like the staff members that I ran into that recognized me.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Anyway, so let's move on here. So we have the character reveals. We're talking about the test flight that the press got as well.
Mhm.
And it just looked like the press just got just kind of like an abbreviated version
Yeah.
of what we'll get on the ship or ship.
Ship. Yeah.
Yeah. What stood out to you about this?
I the main thing that, like, kind of jumped out at me was obviously, they literally designed this f it wasn't like it was a building that they had that they converted, or they were just gonna build another hotel and then, like,
Mhm.
rebrand it as the Star Cruiser or something. They built it obviously from the ground up,
Yeah.
but a lot of what I saw was like, yeah, it's crazy cool what's going on inside the hotel,
Mhm.
but and as with everything Disney, it is so immersive that even outside of the hotel, you're not gonna feel like you just walked out of the Star it's not like walking out of Launch Bay at Disneyland
Mhm.
and you're back in Disneyland. It is so, like, immersive, and I just it's what I expect from Disney at this point
Mhm.
because they they have the people to do it, they have the means to do it. I would expect it to even 10 minutes before you're inside, when you're walking up towards it, I would expect it to feel like Star Wars, and that is what people are saying it feels like. So I'm very happy about that because there's definitely the opportunity for things to not be done up to par with stuff
Mhm.
like that. That can happen. We've seen it before with other things, not specifically Disney, but, like, other experiences where it's like, it's kind of immersive.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm really happy to hear that they went, like, the whole 9 with
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking at the one article here, 31 things we learned in an
Mhm.
exclusive test here. It looks like they're only going to have about 100 to 500 people at any time on this thing.
Yeah.
I keep saying on this thing. I should just say in this experience,
Yeah.
which makes it a little more intimate.
Yeah, which I'm not mad about.
No, neither am I, because let's between you and me, because we've been to Galaxy's Edge a few times, it
Yeah,
gets really crowded.
it does.
And it can kind of take you out of the immersion of it because you're just
Mhm.
fighting with the crowds. Um,
Yeah.
because like the whole point of this is to tell your own Star Wars story. It's kind of hard to tell my own Star Wars story when I've got like five other people trying to say take the same selfie
Right.
in front of the Millennium Falcon that I'm trying to take.
Yeah.
Um, not nothing against those people.
Right.
But like with this, it's like it'll feel like it's a little more one-on-one and a little more individual.
And even kind of equating it to, like, having taken, like a cruise liner
Mhm.
cruise, like, they're packed. Like, the ships are, like, a anywhere up to 5,000 people at one
Oh yeah.
time, and if they made it on that scale, it would I feel like you said the kind of immersiveness of it would be so lost. So keeping it smaller,
Mhm.
I think was the right way to go, even though it makes the wait list longer. I
Yeah.
am happy to wait
Mhm.
3 years to go on this thing if it means I get the best, most immersive, most Star Warsy experience of anything Star Wars I've ever done, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather waitlist just to make sure that the experience is worth it.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to this, and I think this is actually going to take us to one of the topics here for Star Cruiser, and that is the first 3 months of this are sold out already.
Mhm.
You read this, I read this, we talked
Yeah.
about this. Um, my question here though is, yes, it's Star Wars and it's going to be very very popular, but how far out do you see this selling out, or do you think after 6 months it's not going to be sold out anymore?
I think that's actually a really good question. Like, I know it's going to be sold out for a little while,
Hmm.
but I think a lot of the people who can afford to do it up front are going to do it up
Hmm.
front. But that does also kind of play into what I was gonna say earlier about the pricing of it,
Let's do it.
which I found out, through one of my friends on TikTok. She booked her experience, and I think she's going with, like, 4 to 6 people.
Hmm.
And I don't know if this has anything to do with the fact that it's just opening up for bookings and if this is gonna be how it's always gonna be.
Hmm.
She had to put 20% of the total cost down, and then she has to pay the remainder, within the time frame between now and 90 days before she goes.
Oh, so it's 90.
Yeah, so she has time she had like, she can make payments on it. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a payment plan or just here's $500 towards it or whatever,
Hmm.
but she has from now until 90 days before she goes to get the rest of it paid off.
Okay, because that was a question that John and I and like a few other people were talking about, kind of
Yeah.
like in one of our Discord discussions or something, about like what the options were.
Yeah.
Because like normally with Disney, especially like with Disney World,
Mhm.
when you book your vacation package, you can you can either pay for it upfront or you can
Yeah.
pay like at least $200 minimum and then pay on it up until 30 days before you go.
It was not it was 90 or 60.
Okay, for
She
this.
es Yeah, essentially, but it's the same kinda thing, like, she only had to put 20% down, so for, like, all of the people that are going, they paid 1,600 up front, and then they
Hmm.
have the rest they have up until 90 or 60, I'll have to double check on that, but they
Yeah.
have time to pay it off, so it's not a one lump sum of, like, "You're taking 10 people, please give me $700,000 right this second," you know?
Yeah, I get it. It's $700,000 for a big cabin. Um
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting,
Mhm.
but I still think like I mean, now granted that's like leaning a little bit more towards the average consumer like you and I, but
Yeah.
it's still like the price tag is still like the
Yeah.
overwhelming thing here.
It seems astronomical.
Hmm.
'Cause, again, she said for I don't know, like, what package, what room, whatever she chose, but she said it's gonna total out to about $1,600, $1,700 a person, and then I look back at the fact that I just went to Disneyland for 4 days, and for hotel, and park hopper tickets, and food, and I buy a lot of merch there.
Hmm.
It's not it's not a massive difference. It's not like I go and I spend $500 to be at Disneyland for a week, and this is asking 3 times that. Like,
Yeah.
it's and it does include, obviously, your accommodations, it includes all of your meals, it
Hmm.
includes going into the park for a day with I'm not sure if it's a park hopper ticket or not, but you do get it like a day in the park included, like, in your
Hmm.
price. So,
Yeah.
hearing all of that, knowing that it's breaking down the payment, knowing that, like, you're not going in to stay in a hotel and then paying for every meal because we know that you can go get, like, a PB&J sandwich and it's $25 at Disneyland, like, knowing like, literally, and I
Yeah.
I love Disneyland and I will go every chance I get, but their food is not cheap, like,
Yeah.
knowing that it does include all of your food, I was like, "This seems more doable
Hmm.
for, like, the everyday person like you and I than if it were literally just the hotel."
Yeah, I agree with that. It's similar to like they're really like doing the cruise ship mentality for this, especially like with
Yeah,
your meals being included. It almost
yeah.
feels like you're on a Disney dining plan again, um,
Yeah,
without having the option of just quick service or quick service and
right.
table service. Gerald says, I think it'll die down around 5 months, maybe 6 months. John
I
and
could
I,
see that.
yeah, John
Oh,
and
go
I
ahead.
were talking about that last week.
Mhm.
Um, we think after 6 months it's probably going to die down.
Yeah,
Um, I think maybe they'll hit maybe that 100, maybe 200 guest cap, maybe.
yeah,
Um, I don't think you're going to see 500 guests after
I
6 months.
don't think so either,
No.
no.
Um, Now, granted, like vacation club members would probably like do it a lot. Annual
Yeah,
pass holders might do it a lot. Your Club 33 members are going to do it a lot.
if only.
I know. We'll talk
The
about that some
dream.
other time. Yeah, I know. But it's one of these things where I think people are just so intimidated by this price. And I think
I agree.
this is and this is the biggest point about Star Cruiser. You and I are talking this up as an
Mhm.
experience that we both want to try. But
Yeah,
the the point of the conversation is always going to go down to the price, which has done multiple times so far in just the 10 minutes that we've been talking about this thing.
yeah.
And I think that's going to be the driving force here. And also like how long do you get in the park? Is it a full day or is it like a half a day?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's something that, like, I would like more detail on.
Exactly, because and this was a question. Galaxy's Edge straight up was empty after 2 months. Yeah, when we went in to Batu East in September after it opened, like
Mhm.
even like when we did like an afternoon there, it was pretty empty.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, now granted, like us, we'll find whatever it takes to just spend the day there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I would go into Disneyland and only be in Batu, like, all day.
Yeah, because it's home.
Yeah, for sure.
But my point here is you do get that day at the parks, right? You're
Mhm.
there for the immersive experience. Here's my thing, and this is the question that I have, and we're going to be reasonable here. Of course, I'm going to be reasonable with asking this question,
Yeah.
but what if you get there because you're going to have like the special entrance like right
Yeah.
by the docking bay and stuff. You get there, you go into Batu, but I want to head right next door over to Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios and ride Slinky Dog Dash, or I want to ride the Tower of Terror, or Rock and Roller Coaster, or go see, heaven forbid, go see Muppet Vision. You know, one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, is a cast member like gonna stop you at the exit to
Right,
Batu
yeah.
and be like, "No, you can't do that because you only have this here." And then and then here's my other point. What if you miss the shuttle back to the cruise ship?
Oh, that's really interesting. I wonder if it's gonna have some sort of, like, shuttles every 15 minutes type of thing, or, like, it's just, like, a straight up, like, walking option back
Mhm.
to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause that would
Maggie,
suck.
yeah, it would. I'm gonna point out Maggie's thing real quick, and then I'm gonna hop back to the question that I just asked
Yeah,
you and that you just answered. I just did a night where I took pictures and TikTok videos on Batu in front of the Falcon, and everyone was asking how I got no one in the background. But Galaxy's Edge really isn't busy other than holidays.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it looks like that. I mean, May 4th was absolutely crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
But like when we went to Batu a few weeks back, it really wasn't that crowded.
No, it really wasn't when we were there end of October.
No, and I think the thing that the most crowded section was Doc Ondars and
Mhm.
Rise of the Resistance. That's it.
Yeah,
Smuggler's Run had like a 25-minute wait, if that.
yeah,
Um, like Oga's, you still need a reservation for because it's popular and everybody wants to go
yeah.
there. In even like Savi's, even though you need a reservation, it still didn't feel crowded.
Yeah, I didn't really see any lines at Savi's, and I walked right into Droid Depot. I think I
Yeah.
waited like 7 minutes to be able to build my droid, which still needs a name. I still haven't named him, but I digress.
Yeah, even when we walked by Droid Depot like earlier in the day, there wasn't much of a line at all.
Yeah.
And like when we had dinner at Docking Bay 7, there was nobody in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We're gonna go back to the question that I asked about
Mhm.
what if you miss the shuttle. Do they, and Maggie's answering the question in chat, but I want to pose this scenario
Yeah.
before. So like, do you have to hop on a hotel bus to get to Star Cruiser in order, and then like get like taken, you have to ride the shuttle again from the
Yeah.
spaceport?
Yeah.
Maggie says it's very close walking wise, but it's very much in a backstage area, but it's probably a 2-minute walk from the back of Batu to Star Cruiser.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's like literally right behind the show buildings for Rise and Smuggler's Run. Like it's not that far away.
Oh,
We
gotcha.
When you take the bus, so like say you're staying on Disney property
Mhm.
and like you take the bus to Hollywood Studios, you go behind Batu, so like you can see like the spires and everything. Um as you're if you look close enough, you'll see like this gray building,
Yeah.
and like that is Star Cruiser.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Maggie, I've seen the building from the bus window. Um
I'm sure it's probably a very similar situation at Disneyland, maybe
yeah.
like a more lengthy walk just where they can like squeeze it onto some Disney property, but
Yeah. But that's like my whole point though, is like you're there for the immersive experience.
yeah.
I don't want to be Now, granted, I wouldn't be tempted with Slinky Dog Dash if I'm paying $4,800
Yeah.
for myself and my wife to do this experience.
Yeah.
You have to walk through cast parking and you can see the back of the spires. It looks very silly with the spires on the sticks. It really does, because when you drive by it on the bus,
Yeah.
like you just see the spires just like stuck up like on these sticks
Yeah.
and everything. It's great. It's similar to like when you can see like the sticks holding up some of the floating mountains in the back of Pandora.
Right.
Um, I keep saying tonight, and I keep trying to work on that. But it's I don't know. I think what tell me your thoughts on Star Cruiser, because I've been talking a lot.
You're good. So my thoughts are this. Initially, I was really, I don't want to say mad or upset, but just kind of taken aback by the price of it because it seems so inaccessible. Like, I do not have $5,000 chilling that I can just use.
Yeah.
Like, like just there for whatever. I was a little taken aback by the price of it and a little bit upset because it seemed to be very catered towards an exclusive set of people, and
Hmm.
I like my big thing is Star Wars is for everybody. I
Yep.
don't care what your favorite trilogy, show, whatever,
Hmm.
character, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Star Wars is for everybody, and it should be accessible to everybody without anybody ever fearing the judgment of others. But that's more on, the gatekeepy side of things. But
Oh
I
yeah.
was just like, this is making it so that all of the people who are diehard lifelong fans, like, there's gonna be a lot of people who can't afford to do it.
Hmm.
That was kind of my initial thought. As more information has come out about it, everything that it includes, and then seeing my friend saying, like, "Yeah, I was able to put a little bit of money down. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
we're all saving and 6 of us are kind of all pitching in to go together." But, like, knowing that you can put that money down and make payments on it, that makes it seem a lot more accessible,
Hmm.
and that makes me really happy because that means that I'm gonna get to go someday. Um, and seeing more coming out about everything that you get to do, like in on the Star Cruiser, about how immersive it is from every angle, about how it also includes, like you said, kind of the cruise ship setup of like all of your meals and stuff. I'm getting more and more excited and more, no pun intended, on board with this. Um,
Haha.
and, uh, I'm liking that it is not just, you're only coming on this if you're rich and you're gonna throw down $5,000 at the beginning and get your name on the list, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I keep saying a lot of tonight is, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't know why, it just happens.
I do it too. So it's all good if you know what I mean. So let's talk about this lightsaber because you and I have now seen the D23 video,
Mhm.
and I want to know your thoughts before I just come in and burst your bubble.
Okay.
All right.
So, it's the new, retractable lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody I am glad this is not a real lightsaber because Rob would, like, cut his hand off somehow, my fiancé, and that would just 100% be a fact. I would come home to see him and our roommate dueling with a real lightsaber, and somebody would have to go to the hospital.
It wouldn't be
Glad it's not real.
it wouldn't be Star Wars without somebody losing a limb.
There exactly. Um, but I know it's gonna be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
minimum double the price, minimum, probably more like quadruple the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be heavy and kind of clunky,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know the technology behind it. I'm very curious. I don't know if it's a very, very fancy version of the ones you got from Target in the '90s where you did this and it tick, tick, tick. I don't know how
Yes.
it works. I think it looks really cool. I do not know if I'm ever going to buy one for those reasons.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Mhm.
And then like the more I thought about it, and I'm sorry, but Talking Bay 94 kind of hit the nail on the head where it looks like a retractable tape measure that just lights up.
Yeah.
It does,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's really cool looking,
It
and
is.
it's there's my wife. It's fine. Um, I mean, it's really cool looking, and I think that it's going to provide more of an immersive experience for it.
Mhm.
But you're right. I think that this is going to be double, if not quadruple, the price of what you would get at Savi's and what
Yeah.
you would get at Doc Ondar's with a Legacy hilt.
It also looks like it looks girthy,
It
hiding
does.
all of that technology in there. Like it looks because this is like a grown tall man holding it in the
Hmm.
video, and he's like, it looks like he's holding a soup can.
It or like a tube of tennis balls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything that you are going to comfortably hold
Mm-mm.
for any amount of time.
and and with lightsabers, like even with the ones that you build at Savi's, like they're a
Mhm.
little bit bulky, but like
They
they're more
are.
like movie quality bulky. Like
Yeah.
you can still maneuver them a little bit
Mhm.
better. This one looks like you have to go in the batter's up stance.
Seriously, you're coming out and they're like, "All right, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi on home plate." Like,
Yeah,
it looks massive.
yeah. Like for, to me, a lightsaber is a little more elegant. It's a little more, it should fit your hand in a way that like the legacy hilts do and like the
Yeah.
hilts that you get
Yeah.
at Dakondars do. Whereas this just yeah, I mean it's way too bulky.
Mhm.
Now granted this could be the prototype before we get
Very true. Very true.
to what we get here, but this could be the weakest part of this experience.
Mhm.
And of course, people are going to buy the lightsabers. People
Oh,
are going to
yeah.
buy them. But I'd rather buy more merch at Batu than to buy the lightsaber.
Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
if I go to the Star Cruiser and they
Hmm.
put a lightsaber in my hand
Hmm.
that ignites like a real, where it's not a plastic tube that lights, I will freak out for
Yeah.
about 30 seconds and be so excited. Like, that is so cool. I will
Hmm.
put it down. I will go on with my day. I think it's awesome that they are making things because they know that we want to see them, but
Hmm.
I don't think I'll ever buy one. And like you said, I'd rather go buy arguably 10 other things in
Hmm.
Batu for the price of the one lightsaber that will sit in my office
Hmm.
and never be used.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather have like a blaster that like
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather just like have a blaster that I can that has like a little heft to it, but like I could put on my
Mhm.
hip or what have you
Yeah.
than this thing. And I'm the same way. Like I'll be excited for about 2 minutes, do the lightsaber training, and then be like, okay, yeah, that was fun. I've got a reservation at Savi's that I gotta run to.
Yeah, like, I gotta go. Thanks,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean, because I'm if it's between that and Savi's, I'm choosing Savi's hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to discourage your excitement from this Star Cruiser,
Yeah.
but I think like people aren't looking at this as realistically as they should at times.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, we were going to talk about D23, but the only thing like that's coming out of D23 right now is pretty much Star Cruiser. Like that's
Yeah.
all that people are talking about is Star Cruiser. I just think like this is going to be good, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a sale at some point or a major discount at some point on this thing,
Yeah.
especially after the 6 month period.
Mhm.
Um, because of just like the affordability and everything.
Yeah.
I also feel like I don't want this to be overhyped, and I feel like there's going to be some overhype.
I agree. I can definitely agree with that. When it comes down to it, it is still just gonna be a hotel, and
Hmm.
Disney does an amazing job with their
Hmm.
hotels. I've stayed in a Disneyland hotel one time.
Hmm.
Um, the service, just the quality of everything, the comfort, above and beyond a lot of the hotels I've ever stayed in
Hmm.
my life, and I've been very lucky to travel quite a bit.
Yeah, you get pampered at a Disney hotel, whether it be
Absolutely.
Disneyland, Disney World, wherever you stay on a Disney property, they
Yeah.
they treat you like you're the only person that matters at that moment.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a great way of putting it, and I fully expect it to be the same.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just curious to see if everything that has been put into this is enough to keep the hype kind of rolling throughout the entire 2 days. Is there gonna be enough time? Are they gonna have enough people to make it feel intimate and individualized for lightsaber training? Are the
Hmm.
meals going to feel like you're in a really fancy cruise liner, or is it just gonna be your typical, like, "Here's your food," blah
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if they have put enough into this to make it match the hype that it's going to receive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Another question that I have here, and that is in that 31 in the list of like the 31 things that they learned
Mhm.
on StarWars.com. It looks like cosplay is going to be encouraged in parks and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
which is great. But
yeah.
my question here is, if somebody who's paying for this immersive experience doesn't want to cosplay, are they going to feel forced to cosplay, or is it just going to be like, if you just want to wear normal clothes, just wear normal clothes? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody is paying this amount of money for this experience,
Hmm.
they will likely at the very least have like a cool Star Wars adjacent jacket or a
Hmm.
t-shirt or something. Like I know for me, like if I'm paying that amount of money, I am going like all the way with it. I
Hmm.
am cosplaying, I'm dressing up, and I don't foresee there being a ton of people who are going to completely reject it, but it might be a more like casual type. And I don't foresee them being like, you can't come in here if you're just gonna wear a Star Wars t-shirt. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like they've paid for it. They're not
Yeah.
gonna not be allowed. But I don't necessarily gonna think words. I don't
Words.
necessarily think it would take away from the experience because I know I have just as much fun on Batu whether people are, like, dressed to the nines or
Hmm.
they're just, like, into I think it's gonna be up to the individual person to, make whatever they wanna make out of it, you know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, you can't let somebody else, like, ruin your experience when you've paid this much money for it, but I think a lot of the people who will go, especially up at the beginning, will probably go
Hmm.
pretty hard with it, you know?
Yeah. Now I'm wondering if I could go like full chiss for it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be
be
really
really
cool.
cool.
It would probably look like a Smurf if I did it, but
No.
um, but that's like another question that I have. Like, what species like can you choose?
Ooh, I did see that they have some, like, a preview of some of the
Hmm.
stuff you can, like, buy, and they had, like, the Twi'lek, Leku and everything.
And the
Um
Torgruta headdress too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I did see that too. I
yeah,
don't they probably don't really have, like, a policy on it, unless somebody comes in a full Chewbacca costume, which kind of goes along with, like, Disney's, like, no dressing up kinda
yeah,
thing, you know?
yeah. Outside of like Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's. I think we're raising some good questions here. I just feel like time's gonna tell.
Yeah,
Time will
100%.
always tell with this because this thing isn't even open yet. Look at how much we speculated before Batu opened
Oh my god, yeah.
as a community.
Yeah.
Um, like at that time, you and I didn't know each other. Like a lot of us didn't really know each other, but
Yeah.
um, Maggie says, so pumped they're allowing full cosplay. It sounds like full face paint and everything is allowed, which is super exciting. So I could go full
Ooh,
chiss.
do
I could
it.
go full chiss. I could be Thrawn and just, like look at the First Order and tell them their tactical errors. Um,
I can never think about Thrawn without thinking about that snippet of the book that I saw where it's like him being like I don't know how to say his full name, but
yeah.
then Anakin just like completely butchering it and just looking him dead in his soul, being like, I dare you to tell me that I'm wrong. And Thrawn just being like, I do not have time for this.
Yes, yes, I love that bit. That bit is so good. I actually have that book and the other two in that trilogy coming
Mhm.
on Monday with the
Nice.
third Ascendancy book. So, uh, yeah, I ordered all four of those books because I just
Nice.
wanted them.
Yeah. Because I wanted to is
Yeah,
why.
exactly. So I I want to ask this question since we're talking about D23 and future Disney parks and everything.
Mhm.
At at some point, do we go further, like expand into the unknown regions with like another themed land?
Yeah.
Or is there a possibility? I mean, there's always a possibility, but
Yeah.
what are the odds that Disney just does like a full on Star Wars theme park, not a land expansion?
Okay. I feel like that would have to happen at Disney World as opposed to Disneyland because Disneyland is already like packed to the gills.
It is.
Um, I could reasonably see something like that happening.
Hmm.
because of the popularity, even though it has died down, the popularity of Batu is not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
And especially with it seems like we're really just ramping up on the Star Wars content.
Yeah.
I think this is like the first wave of what's going to be like decade worth of like shows and movies, and we already know that there are movies on the way. We know that there are movies that we don't even know about
Hmm.
yet. We know that there's like Taika's movie and there's so many and potential like other non-Skywalker saga trilogies coming out. I don't foresee it getting any less popular. I could arguably reasonably see them making a like Star Wars actual park. I
Hmm.
still think it would have to happen at Disney World, but
Yeah. I wouldn't want Star Cruiser to tie into that park though.
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
I'd kind of want it to be its own thing.
Yeah. Be like a different planet outside of
Hmm.
like Batu.
Yeah, like you could do a core world planet or something
Yeah.
too. Um, like
If they make a freaking Coruscant theme park, oh my god, I will be the first person in line.
exploring the Jedi Temple,
Yeah.
going to the Senate,
Yeah.
going to level 1313.
All right, Disney, start paying me my dues. I just gave
Yeah,
you a really
exactly.
good idea.
We've been pitching ideas to Disney all night. They just need to listen.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we were gonna
Oh,
have. Go ahead. Oh, did you lose it for a second?
no, no, no. I saw Maggie said Mithron Eurodo.
Yes.
Mithron Eurodo.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Anakin just being like, that's what I said, Mythoroto. And he's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yes. Listening to it in the audio exchange, like in the audiobook, is like even better
I bet.
because like you can just tell like Thrawn's voice just stays the same like every time he corrects Anakin, but like you
Yeah.
can tell like he's just getting more and more pissed off as he's
Yeah.
correcting Anakin. It's great. I highly recommend that Thrawn book because of just the
Okay.
exchange between Anakin and Thrawn. Um yeah, if they did Coruscant, it would be I mean, we would we would love that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think now Maggie knows, and you know my obsession with the High Republic.
Yes.
I want Starlight Beacon. I want Launch Bay to turn into Starlight Beacon.
Oh, I would love it.
Like have like an Avar Chris meet and greet. Like
Oh,
an Elzar like have like Avar Chris, Elzar Man, and Stellan Geos as like a meet and greet with Buryaga there. Um
I Berga.
and like give me a Geode meet and greet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to meet that rock. He's amazing. Um, but like they have the potential to do so much, especially with book storytelling and
Mhm.
everything, to bring that into the parks. Like you already see it with Vi Marati
Yeah.
because she's a book character. I'm back. What did I miss? Just us gushing and speculating about Star
Yeah.
Cruiser, and I would love Starlight in the parks. I think a lot of us would because like you could have it as a rest area too,
Yeah.
just like a place to go and chill, which is what Launch Bay essentially is anyway,
Mhm.
outside of an artifact museum.
Yeah.
Which my favorite exhibit was when they had all the stuff for Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Anything else we need to add here?
I wanna go on the Star Cruiser. That's my
Yeah.
closing thought on that. I
Yeah.
wanna go. I wanna see if it lives up to all the hype.
Hmm. Um.
That's yeah. That was so helpful.
Yeah, I don't want you to think that I'm bored, like just sitting like this
No,
and
no, no,
just
you're fine.
yeah. I hope Star Wars Night returns. Yeah, I want Star Wars Weekends
Oh
to return.
god, I never got to go to that.
Neither did I. And I think it would be amazing, especially with the renaissance in Star Wars animation that's going on right now,
Yeah.
and even with live
Yeah.
action shows, bring in a couple. You mean Pedro Pascal wouldn't go to Hollywood studios and do Star Wars weekends?
Seriously.
You mean to tell me Alan Tudyk wouldn't do it either,
Oh
or
my God,
Diego
Alan,
Luna?
I missed the opportunity to meet Alan. Well, I didn't miss it. It got sold out before I could get tickets, but Alan Tudyk was at Phoenix Comic Con a couple years ago, and I am sad about that.
Yeah, he's one I would definitely want
Yeah.
to meet. Maggie McDonald. Just look at all the sabers from Launch Bay for some reason. Not sure why, but Ezra's, Ventress, and Sabine's armor were all there now, and now they're gone. But
Hmm.
maybe it'll be a sign for new Launch Bay stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe
Curious.
tying into the shows? Like, could you imagine if they did like Bad Batch armor at Launch Bay?
I would die.
Yeah, I think we all would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, especially Wrecker's armor.
We do 3D printing and we're building Rob some Wrecker armor right now.
That's awesome.
Well, we kind of paused it a little bit just with life being crazy, but
Yeah.
I would love to see their armor there.
Yeah. So I think we also should just do this right here, right now, while this
I
is live. We've already said this earlier, but we should reiterate this again. If I win, my wife and I are taking you and Rob,
Yes.
and if you win, you're taking me and my wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Done and
That's
done.
awesome. Sorry, Gerald. I'm the new bestie. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll
Um,
win twice so I can take you,
yeah.
DJ.
Well, too bad. It's happening anyway. um, but yeah, so I think Star Cruiser is just one of those things that we're just gonna have to wait and see. Outside of that, there wasn't much at D23 today.
Oh, really?
They announced some new shows and some returning shows. Phantasmic's coming back, which
Mhm.
I think that's kind of an overrated show. I'm sorry, Maggie, if you love Phantasmic, but eh, um, you're getting Main Street Electrical Parade next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for its
The
50th
audacity.
anniversary. The audacity.
The gall, the gumption.
What? I know, I just said that. I'm sorry. Um, she keeps
Oh my
correcting me.
god. Sorry, 2 seconds.
You're fine.
Stop. My my background, on my computer rotates, and sometimes they start playing background music with them, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then I realized it was my screen.
Nice. World of Color is better. I I gotta tell you, the my favorite parade actually isn't in the park, and I think Maggie knows the one that I'm talking about. It's actually in Seven Seas Lagoon outside of Magic Kingdom. They actually have an electrical light parade on barges that goes throughout Seven Seas
Oh,
Lagoon.
that sounds so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like every night around the same time that they do the fireworks and the park closing.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Um
Oh,
I, I think we're done with this. D23 like Disney Plus Day just kind of a letdown for Star
yeah.
Wars fans. I mean, well, D23 was a little bit better for Star Wars fans because of Star Cruiser and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but we
What
called,
is the life of a Star Wars fan if not pain?
yeah, I mean, that's
Pain
all
and
we know.
sadness, truly.
We get brief happy moments before pain.
Yeah.
And it's the longest running show at any Disney park. Yes, that is true.
Oh,
The
Phantasmic?
no, the electrical water light pageant thing on Seven Seas Lagoon
Oh,
is
okay,
actually the
gotcha.
longest running show at Disney parks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now I wanna go see this.
Jane says, I'm going to Galaxy's Edge for the first time in 2 weeks, and I'm so excited. First time in Disneyland.
Ooh.
You are going to have a blast.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself. Uh, just take it all in, especially if you ride Rise of the Resistance. I'm going to,
Ah.
I, I will say this right now. This is my advice. Put your phone away
Mhm.
when you
Just
get to that ride.
take it in.
Yeah, just take it in. Gerald said, "Did you all talk about the lightsaber deflecting?" We talked a little bit about the training. I saw the video, and it does kind of look like Fruit Ninja,
A little bit. A little bit.
just a little bit. It still looks cool. I mean, I would do it, because
Yeah.
it's on
Oh,
my
I
itinerary.
still would.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I need to do that thing again.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jane, enjoy Galaxy's Edge. You are gonna love it.
Mhm.
This isn't us overhyping it. This is just us as Star Wars fans just telling you, enjoy yourself. Just
Yeah.
take it all in. Even if you don't get that first photo in front of the Falcon as soon as you see it, just enjoy yourself and
Yeah.
just take it in. She says, thanks, definitely doing Rise, and I'm probably not going to touch my phone the entire time on my Galaxy's Edge. I just want to build a lightsaber and get lost in the moment. That's all we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. You are going to get so lost and immersed in this world that when you walk out, whatever exit you are, whatever theme park you are, you're going to immediately want to go right back in because
Yeah.
it's just that incredible.
Yeah.
Um, anything else to add to our conversation tonight? I think we were kind of all over the place, but that's the
A little
joy of
bit.
this podcasting.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, no, I think we covered pretty much everything that kind of, like, happened in the past week.
There was a lot.
We there was a lot, yeah. But I'm glad we got thoughts out about a lot of what went on
Hmm.
and the Star Cruiser, and yeah, I don't think I have any other bullet points to make tonight.
No, I don't have anything else to add either. I just want to tell you that, and this goes to all of you. I know it's been a tough week, especially with the, pardon my language, the shit that went down yesterday. But just know we're here for you. We care about you, and you're loved, and this is a safe space for you. So just really just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and and I gotta tell you, this is working really, really well.
Yeah. We literally just jumped into this and we're like, "Let's try it." And we tried it live and it's working.
Yes. It's like, I don't want to say it's like catching lightning in a bottle, but it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that.
But you guys, once again, chat, thank you for joining us. We're going to wrap things up. I've got to go to bed. I've got to be up at 3 in the morning for work.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've got to head to DC tomorrow as well
Mm.
for, we're doing a Vincent van Gogh exhibit, which should be pretty cool.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'll have to take pictures and I'll have to send them to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm seeing some friends I haven't seen in a while either, so it's going to be
Yeah.
really cool. Um, Chat, you guys were awesome. Thank you so, so much for joining us. Gerald, Maggie, Jane, everybody, thank you for joining us. You guys are like I said, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here with us for every week. Before we go, we have big plans for 2022, so stay
Mhm.
tuned. There was,
Yes.
yes, so stay tuned because we've got some stuff in the works. You're going to be seeing a lot more content from us,
Mhm.
a lot more shows. We're going to go back to audio as well for those of you that were complaining about audio. We're going back to audio, and we're just going to have so much fun, and we're going to build
I'm
this
really
community.
excited.
Don't forget to
Yeah.
join our Discord server. We are
Mhm.
there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Well, I think we should establish a Facebook and probably an Instagram maybe for the
Yeah,
show.
we can do
Uh,
that.
yes. But no, thank you. Um,
No, thank you.
I'm rambling. I apologize, everybody. Thank you all so much. Abby, this was awesome. You are awesome. And,
You're awesome.
well, I appreciate it. I'll be a guest. Cough. Um, and I I kind of want to put together a High Republic show at some point,
Do
really
it.
soon. I know Maggie has expressed interest about being on it, and I'm gonna try to put on some more community members because I want to showcase like the High Republic community
Yeah, for
and like
sure.
showcase like all the stuff that they're doing, and then just talk about the High Republic. Anyway, we're done. That's it for us this week. Tune in next week. We're gonna have two shows for you next week. We're gonna have our live show Saturday night, where we're gonna talk about more stuff. Probably not gonna be a lot because of Thanksgiving.
Fair, fair.
Yes. Um, and then the 29th, RPG. Be there. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to keep it under 2 hours, just like I tried to do here tonight. That's it for us. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic.